Welcome to the Career Changemaker podcast, where we focus on owning your career journey and making impact through the work that you do. Whether you're looking to pivot, transition into leadership, or reimagine your career completely, this podcast is for you. We'll unpack career development strategies, leadership insights, and the mindset shifts needed to thrive in your career. Being a career changemaker means taking control and shaping your professional path with intention. I'm your host, lawyer turned career and leadership development specialist, Janine Esbrand. So if you're ready for candid conversations that are going to help you grow, keep listening. Hello, and welcome to the show. Have you ever been in the situation where you're considering making a move, but guilt is holding you back, where you are feeling guilty about leaving your role, your organization, or your industry? If that is you, lean into today's episode because I want to talk about why guilt shows up when you are thinking about moving and the way you can be thinking about it differently so that you're able to move towards your goals and not feel bad about it. Oftentimes, when you have worked really hard to get to where you are right now, when you have studied hard, where you have put in the hours, where you've had your head down to achieve the level of success that you have achieved, it can feel really difficult to contemplate or plan to step away from that. And part of the reason for that is we have this sense of loyalty, we have this sense of commitment to what we have set out to do. And it can be hard to say, actually, I've worked this hard. I have been known for this. I have an identity that's attached to this type of role. And now I'm going to walk away from that. And I think we can often feel guilty because you have a good job. You have a good job, you have a good role, you have what is good on paper. So to the outside world, to everyone else looking in, you've achieved, right? You've got this great, fantastic title. You've got good money. You've got good lifestyle. Things are good, right? But here's the thing. When people think about what's good, often we're using this objective lens and we're saying, okay, does this stack up on paper? So we're saying, okay, is this role paying well? Is this role giving opportunity? Is this role allowing you to experience great things? And all of those markers of success are important, but they're not the be all and end all, because often what is missing when somebody is in a good role but doesn't feel like it's good for them is that there is a lack of alignment. There's a lack of alignment between who they are as a person, their personality, their values, their motivations, and what the role actually offers. So when we focus on external titles and we focus on external definitions of good, we can find ourselves questioning, well, why is it that I feel this way? Why do I feel this way? Why am I not appreciating what is in front of me? Why am I wanting to walk away from a role or an organization that so many people would kill to be in? And the reality is there is misalignment, and you can't override that feeling of misalignment, that feeling of dissatisfaction forever, right? When you're feeling like it's time to go, a few things may have happened. It may be that there's a shift for you in the season of career that you're in. Maybe this was working for you before, but it's no longer working now. It may be that as you have come into your own and you understand yourself more, you're not willing to tolerate certain things. It may be that there's just a shift in the marketplace and you have a desire to try different things. There could be various reasons as to why what once was the target for you is no longer what you want to do or what you want to pursue. And so in this episode, I really want to give you permission to reevaluate and ask yourself, what is it about the role that I'm doing right now that isn't working for me? And be honest with yourself and be okay with your answer. You are going to be able to create so much more impact if you are in a role where there is alignment, where if you're in a space where you're able to bring your best self, where you're able to leverage your unique blend of skills, expertise, strengths to create impact in whatever way that looks. So rather than seeing it as, oh, I feel so bad for leaving, how about you think about what the opportunity is going to be when you fully embrace finding what that next best thing is for you. I remember when I was thinking about moving away from working in private practice, it was a struggle to make a decision around moving, right? I had trained and qualified as a corporate lawyer. My journey to qualification was really challenging. I didn't have anyone in my world, in my life, who were in the legal industry. So I had to figure it out on my own. And it took years and years of trial and error, and finally getting some support from someone who knew the industry, who was able to say to me where I was going wrong with my applications. But this was all years in the making. So at the point at which I had qualified, I'd been on this journey for like 7 years plus, trying to do the exams and then get the experience and then do law school and then get my 2-year placement that I needed. And getting to that place was my goal for such a long time. And then once I arrived and I started practicing, I was enjoying what I was doing and it was all working for me until until there was a massive major shift in my life when I had my son. And I realized that what my priority was before was no longer my priority now. My goals before and the vision that I had for my life and wanting to just double down and work hard and get to that partner status, that was pre-baby. After baby, I was like, I want to be a present mom. I want to be around. I want to see his milestones. I want to have more balance. And so there was a shift. So what was once a good role for me, what once worked for me, was no longer going to work in this new season of life. And I remember sitting at home on maternity leave, deciding whether I was going to go back to my corporate lawyer job or whether I was going to go and do something different, and really struggling with that feeling of guilt, struggling with that feeling of how could I not continue when I worked so hard to get here? How could I not continue when I was able to qualify when so many people were not? And I went round in circles with that for a while until I reached the place to say, well, what I've done so far is not wasted. It has served me well. I have done it. And I can revert back to it in the future if I want to. But for right now, what is important to me in my life and what I am trying to do and achieve now no longer fits with the decisions that I made in the past or the role that I took on in the past. So what I'm going to do is give myself permission to pivot and do something different. And it was fine. And it was fine. I did. I moved into working as an in-house lawyer for one of our past clients and was able to unlock a whole different way of working, a whole different experience, and the type of legal practice that was more aligned to me as a person. I am absolutely a people person. I'm absolutely someone who likes to know how things work and understand how my contribution makes a difference. And when you're working as a lawyer in private practice, you are advising your clients, but often you give your clients the advice and then they go off and you don't hear from them again until they need advice again. So you don't really know how things went or, what happened afterwards. Whereas when you're working in an in-house environment, you are in the thick of it with the business. So whatever advice I'm giving, I'm understanding the context and how it's applying. And that resonated with me way more than being in my role as a corporate lawyer. But I would never have known that if I hadn't taken the step to move when I felt like the role was no longer working for me or serving me. So I hope that helps give you some context in terms of how to be thinking about your current situation and giving yourself permission to embrace the seasonality of life and of your career. You are not the same person you were a year ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And so you don't necessarily have to live by the decisions you made when you were 1 year, 5 year, 10 years younger, right? And so thinking about your career moving forward is really about asking what is it you're working towards in this new season? And if there's no longer alignment, leaving a role or leaving organization or industry, it doesn't have to be left in like a you don't have to burn bridges. You don't have to burn bridges. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It can literally be, I'm making a decision and I'm leaving the door open. Nothing is forever. I don't have to make a forever decision right now. I can make a decision to go. So you have agency. You can equally choose to stay. You can say, okay, once I've thought through all of the different factors, I think I do want to stay. Or you can say, I'm going to go. But either way, doing it from a place of intention and decision rather than a place of guilt is where you want to get to. You don't want to stay just because you feel guilty. Stay because it makes sense to stay. Stay because there is a reason to stay. Don't stay because you're fearful. Don't stay because you feel guilty. Stay because you want to. And equally, go because you want to. And explore what your alternatives are because it makes sense for this season. So I hope that's helpful for you when you are thinking about next moves. There's so many things that can come up. There's so many different thoughts and circumstances that can impact the way that we're thinking about transitioning in our careers and that career advancement, like career growth element. So if you're navigating this kind of decision, this type of season, and you want clarity on how you can move forward without rushing through making a decision, without burning those bridges, this is exactly the type of support that I offer my clients inside of one-to-one coaching. If you're contemplating getting some support, then book a call with me at www.careerchangemakers.com/clarity call, and we can have a call to explore where you're at now, what you are looking to achieve, and whether working together could be a good fit. Just know that just because you're considering moving on and doing something different doesn't mean you're not grateful, doesn't mean you don't appreciate the experience. It just means that a new season is on the horizon. So get ready to embrace it. That's all I have for you today. Until next time, look after yourself and keep moving toward your career goals.